All right, from past success to future strategies, we are covering Indiana whitetail hunting. I got Mr. Kevin Dooling back on the podcast, or this is your first time on this podcast.
This particular one, yeah.
This is. All right, man. Well, welcome. So we are back on the American Bow Hunter, the official podcast of PSE. I'm your host, Zakk, and we are talking Indiana deer hunting.
That's it.
That's it, man. So far, are you from Indiana?
No.
So what's your draw to Indiana?
So it's, as you know, I'm in the Marine Corps, right? So it's one of those crazy life experiences, or, you know, however you want to put it. What had happened was I went on recruiting duty up in Indiana. I was supposed to go like stay in South Carolina, but that didn't work out. Got sent up to Indiana, and I was like devastated, you know, because I didn't know anybody there. You know, I wasn't too keen on living in the Midwest. But, you know, once I got there and started like exploring some of the hunting opportunity, it's one of those states that, like, you know, if you think about it, you've got Illinois to the west, you've got Ohio to the east, you've got Kentucky to the south. Those are big buck states, and you don't really hear about people going, "Oh, we're going to Indiana this year," you know, for whatever reason. I don't know why that is, but
you're right. You don't. I mean, we hear everybody's going to Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky.
Right.
But there's a few people that we talk to that go to Indiana. I got some friends that live up there, but it's not like a state that's like talked about often, like you said. I mean, everyone's kind of going the surrounding states around that. Right. Kentucky being one of the bigger ones, and then Ohio.
Certainly. Yeah. And I will say that, like, what's really crazy is while I was there, I was like one of the first, my first year there was one of the first years where they like had a single buck tag for the year, and that's for residents and non-residents.
What did it used to be, two?
It used to be two.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, and I think that has drastically impacted the quality of deer that state is growing, because what that's making people do is they're a lot more selective on that buck. Before it was like, well, I'll shoot this 2-year-old and I still have this one buck tag, you know what I mean? So I think limiting, you know, not just residents, but non-residents to a single buck has, you know, paid dividends down the road.
Do you think they should do that for North Carolina?
I think they should do it for a lot of states. I know a lot of people aren't going to be very a fan of me saying that, but I mean, I saw it firsthand. So, and you know, Indiana just has, you know, what it takes. It has the genetics. It's got the agriculture. It's got everything you need to grow big bucks. And I think that was just one of those steps in the directions that are kind of leading that state to grow and flourish.
That makes sense. So, I mean, I imagine then with that, I mean, is it hard for out-of-state residents to go there and hunt, or no?
Not really. I mean, it's still over the counter, so it's not like Kansas or Iowa where you have to draw.
Right.
I do know that they upped the cost of a license and tag and stuff like that. But me being a military guy, I just had to buy the military refuge tag, and that's because I'm hunting the military bases.
So you hunt the base specifically. Okay.
Specifically, I do have some private, but I'll be honest, like some of the base hunting opportunity is arguably better, you know. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, well, I noticed that with some of the bases. I mean, anywhere, like, I mean, here, Lejeune, I mean, there's good deer killed on base every year here.
Right.
I mean, for a coastal deer.
Yeah. I mean, there's big ones that get killed there. And
I mean, you've seen some of them firsthand.
Yes. Dead on the side of the road, people hitting them and stuff like that. But also some of cause you know, obviously my work schedule, I'm at I work a lot of night shifts and stuff. And sometimes in the evenings I'll go to the check station.
Opportunity to scout deer.
Certainly a little bit, you know, but it's primarily with going to the check station and talking to some of the guys and seeing what they've brought in for the night and stuff. So and I've gotten the opportunity to see some, you know, deer you would not expect to see coastal Carolina.
Right. Yeah. So Indiana. So is that one of your, like, I mean, how many other hunts do you do a year? Is that like your primary big out-of-state hunt?
Yeah. So usually... Yeah, I used to do Kansas as well. Kansas has become a little bit more tricky to get a tag in recent years, but Indiana still being an over-the-counter state, I just pretty much put all my focus there. But I'll still continue to apply for the other states, and if I do get an Iowa tag or a Kansas tag, I'm still probably going to find the time to go visit Indiana as well.
I got you. That makes sense. It's like you just got too much goodness going on there to walk away from. I think everybody has that state though, where it's like, I really enjoy hunting this state.
Yeah.
It'll always be part of the tour.
Yeah. Yeah. And also I have a lot of people that I know there that I made connections with while I was on recruiting duty up there. And I want to go visit them too. You know what I mean? So it's like you killed a lot of birds with one stone, I guess.
So what time of year do you prioritize going to Indiana?
So definitely probably starting that second week in November, anywhere from like as early as the 5th, but as late as to like maybe the 10th, as far as like getting there, arriving within that 5-day window, and then probably staying until, the 20th, 18th to the 20th.
Oh, so you stay for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to do 11 days.
And do you hunt all 11 days?
All 11 days. I'm going to hunt. It's going to be a mental grind for sure.
Oh, dude, that's a lot of time on the ground.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to like capitalize on family time now, here. Yeah. Cause I know like, golly, and that's one thing I got to say that's important on these big hunts is you got to have that family support. Cause if you don't, you might get a big buck. You might get a divorce too,
Hey, man, you got to weigh it. No.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get that. So my wife, she's pretty cool. She knows, like, I mean, we're busy with obviously work as well. This is our busy time of year, but also with the hunting, she's like, oh yeah, go ahead, go out and hunt. But it's hard to get away sometimes.
Right.
There's so many things going on. So you definitely got to take and prioritize family time and the stuff around the house, which I'm not that good at doing. Like I'm behind on stuff right now. I'll be straight up.
Right. No, I'm terrible. Yeah.
My wife just messaged me the other day. She's like, the house needs to be pressure washed. I'm like, summer will be here before long.
If my wife said that to me, I'd be like, well, you better call the guy to pressure wash. You know what I mean?
So you prioritize beginning of November, that time frame. You're there for about 10 to 11 days, so almost 2 weeks. Is prior to the season, I mean, what's your do you have any prior intel, or is it all just previous intel? Do you have cameras that you run? Like, how are you getting on deer there?
So I spent a lot of time, any spare time that I had when I was living up there was spent in the woods. And I'll tell you that I've identified, probably 30, 40 different bedding areas in the spot that I'm going to. So I don't have any trail cameras up there right now. I haven't had the time to get up there and do it. But what I will tell you is I'm probably just going to hunt based off my past experiences there. I will say there's with these bedding areas, they didn't change in the 3 years that I was hunting there. And so I don't suspect they changed in the year that I left. So
yeah. Is the base, I mean, is it similar to how it is here where you've got sections that you've got to check out?
Yes. So,
I mean, is that limiting?
Yes, that could be very problematic.
That seems like the biggest. So for me, guys are like, hey, you want to go hunt on base and, I'll sponsor you and stuff. I'm like, not really.
Yeah. And it's hard.
It's frustrating.
Yes.
All the guys I talk to, they're like, dude, I've got this spot picked out. I know when I need to be there. And then it's closed because they got a training exercise going on.
100%. Like imagine, and especially with these out of state hunts, right? Imagine if and I'm like totally emotionally prepared for this, that I might go to Indiana and area X, Y, and Z. I've been dreaming about getting in there and hunting a specific bedding area for a year. And some unit is out there doing a week or 2 week long exercise, and I'm not going to get to hunt it. And so that's why it's so important for me to identify, these specific stands, which winds and X, Y, Z beforehand. So that way I'm not limited to like, oh, I got a spot here, and a spot here for, a north, a east, and a south or something like that.
So you've got to have plenty of options available. So how many years have you been hunting Indiana?
This will be my 5th.
Okay, so you've got quite a bit of time invested there.
Yes, quite a bit.
Interesting. So what's the terrain like there versus here?
Oh, okay.
On base specifically. Like
on base. So that base is very diverse. I don't want to say the name of the base, but so on one side of the base, it is treacherous. I mean, it is up and down, up and down. You're looking at, 150, 200 foot difference in elevation from one ridge to another. I mean, it is a lot.
It's pretty hilly?
Very, very on one side of the base. And the other side of the base is relatively flat. There's a couple ridges and stuff like that over there, but on one side it's super, super up and down. The other side is flat as a piece of paper. So
really?
Yes.
Interesting. So, I mean, is there one side that you enjoy hunting more? You see more opportunity on? I mean, based off like terrain?
I'm a little lazy, so I tend to stay on the non-hilly side. And
you're still on a lot of good deer.
Yes.
What about as far as like, how thick it is here? Like it's just super green all year. It's hot pretty much all year here. Is it like that there, or is it a lot more like open?
There is definitely a lot of open woods.
Like hardwoods there?
Yes, okay. A lot of them. And that's one thing that I, without divulging too much to some of my hunting friends up there, they'll send me pictures of these like hardwoods. They'll be like, look at this spot that I'm in this morning. And I'll give it to them. It's beautiful, but it's open hardwoods as far as you could probably see 400 meters across this, set of woods.
That makes it kind of difficult to shoot a deer with a bow.
100%. They say, well, there's a rub here. And I'm like, yeah, he's making it at 1 a.m., brother. You know what I mean? So there's that, but then there's also an enormous amount of just scrub, briars. There's tons of briars there. So 1 second you're in big open hardwoods, and the next second you can't see a foot in front of your face.
So are they bedding in that real thick stuff?
Yes, I found that whenever you find big briar patches there, they're laying right up in it. So
yeah, literally the hardest place to get into.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. There's a lot of tornado damage there too. So there's a lot of downed trees, and I tend to see a lot of the bigger bucks bedding in those areas where there's a lot of downed trees and a lot of just, gunk on the ground, if that makes any sense.
So what about, that's interesting. So that time of year, so you're going up, the weather's a little bit cooler. Is it cooler there? Is it similar to as far as temperature rise to here?
I would definitely say it's a little bit colder for sure.
Is the humidity the same?
Not really. It's definitely a little drier.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes all the
I will say in November, when I killed a bigger buck there in 23, it was, high 70s on November the 8th. You go back to a year before and it was, a high of 48 on that same day. So you never really know.
Yeah. So on base, I'm assuming you don't have crop fields and stuff that you're hunting around.
None.
Edges. So what is the primary focus? Is it, you're keying on food sources? Is it travel corridors? What do you obviously you've identified these bedding areas. Are you just sitting outside of bedding? What's the strategy?
So primarily the bedding thing, but I definitely have identified some areas where I know that deer love bedding in this area on a north wind. And so, I'll identify another bedding area, say 200-300 yards away, or even closer the better. But if I find another bedding area and I notice that deer will routinely bed here on a south wind, what I love to do is if I find a day where there's a cool front that comes through, whether it's a south moving to a north or a north moving to a south, those polar opposite wind direction changes, I love hunting between those bedding areas because it seems like the deer, as soon as that wind changes, they're going to make that move.
They get up and move.
Yes, that's been my experience, specifically hunting there for sure.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So what about as far as North Carolina? It seems like it depends on where you hunt, obviously, right? How much pressure there is, how skittish the deer are. North Carolina seems pretty notorious for, I would say, pressured deer.
Yes.
It's difficult to hunt, right?
Yes.
It is, because we got dogs, we got all these other things going on, all these other factors to consider. People are in the woods. What about as far as Indiana and the pressure goes? Particularly on base first, maybe even off base. Is the pressure high there? Are the deer very skittish like they are here?
That's such a funny question because it's I've had experiences there where the deer are extraordinarily skittish. Yeah. And then I've had other experiences there where, I've got the wind in my face and I turn around and I've got 3 or 4 deer coming directly from downwind and just seem completely oblivious to, my scent or whatever the case is. I've also seen it where, I'm walking out of the woods there and I'm literally walking right by deer with my headlamp on, and they don't seem to mind me being there whatsoever.
In the dark?
In the dark, yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. In the dark, you seem they're meh.
Yeah, whatever,
Good luck, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that too. So interesting. So I guess it depends on where you're at and how much pressure they've felt already.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed too. If I noticed that, hey, this area right here, there's been a dude or maybe multiple people checked into this area and say it's a smaller area over the past 5 days. I'm probably not going to put too much effort into that area just because there's been so much in and out with other hunters. I'll try to go to the areas that I have spots in where a lot of people haven't been in.
Right.
Because one thing that really it may not bother the deer. It may, I don't really know. That's up for debate. But one thing that has always bothered me was mentally in the stand, knowing that I'm not the only person there and that there's been multiple people going in and out of there. So I might see a big buck, but it's always playing in the back of my mind, like, oh, I'm probably not seeing anything because Tom, Dick, and Harry were in here the last 3 days.
So you've already psyched yourself out.
Yes. Yeah.
I could see that, though.
And that gets worse the longer you're there, you know.
Huh. So, I mean, what about as far as like access goes to these properties, right? Are the sections that you have to check out, are they fairly big?
Yeah, I'd say probably, 200-300 acres each.
Are they difficult to access, a lot of them?
A lot of them are.
Which can be good.
Yes. So I will say that a lot of the areas that I hunt, most people, like if I mention it to a friend, like, hey, I'm in area X, they're like, well, I would never hunt there because there's so many briars and sticks. And I'm like, all right, well, keep hunting the hardwoods. You know what I mean? So,
good. Good. That's why their success rate's a little different.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. So as far as gaining access to places, right? So you've got to be conscious of, we notice, right? Guys that are successful, they've got to be conscious of the wind and their access, how they're getting in and out, where that wind's blowing, where it's blowing from, and where it's blowing to. And with those difficult to reach areas, how are you able to access them? Is it all on foot? Are you using any kind of like kayak or boat to get in? Are you using an e-bike? Like, how do you access those off the beaten paths areas?
Right. So in that particular area that I'm hunting, there's really no, I mean, there's several waterways, but there's so many like dry spots and blowdown and all this other stuff that it's like the kayak is pretty much useless. The e-bike is not authorized. So basically, say you have a block of woods, your only means to access it is from the road. So you're coming from the road and into whatever area that you're going to be in, so and that's it.
Feet on the ground, moving forward.
Lamborghinis,
That's it. So with that, so you've got to be conscious of how you get in and out of there, and you can't cut through other areas to get to where you're going, right? So you've got to stay within that. So you've got to be strategic on how you plan your access. So there's a lot of things working against you.
Yes. They don't make it easy. It's almost like, man, if I could just do this, like I could access it this way and have the wind in my face as I access, but I can't because I'm going to cross this other area. And I think some of the people that make the rules are like have a vendetta against me. I don't know.
So that time of year, are the people only allowed to bow hunt that base, or is there rifle as well?
So there's draw hunts for guns. So other than that, it's just archery.
Oh, that's awesome.
And crossbows, but it's just archery, and then there's one Saturday at like the last weekend in November, and then there's another Saturday in the first weekend of December where they do a gun hunt, but that's it.
Well, that's good. So you got that in your favor.
100%.
So is there a lot of people that hunt it then? It seems like it would be a lot less since it's so restricted.
So obviously being military, like it's kind of limited on who can hunt.
Right.
But I will say, and this is definitely going for the areas that I hunt, that those areas scare people away. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with the briars. They don't want to deal with hiking in a mile. They don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's just too much effort required to get back there.
Right. And so that's one of the cool things is obviously some of these areas, area X, 3 hunters can go in there today. Well, I promise you, I'm probably going to be the only one in there. So that helps, certainly.
So are as far as this time of year with this hunting, I mean, it takes a lot of effort, right? So are you hunting morning to sunrise? I mean, are you doing all day sits? Like, how are you prioritizing when and where you should be in the woods?
So if I'm hunting one of those spots that's like really, really hard to get to, and I know you got to do your homework. If you know it's going to be a north all day or a south all day or whatever, I will tend not to move at all for a few reasons. Number one, I think that midday movement is huge during the rut, the time frame that I'm going to be there. I also want to limit the amount of time I have feet on the ground going in and out. So I will do my best to try and do as many all-day sits as I can, as long as that wind is staying in the right direction. And also seeing deer also helps to sit all day.
Yeah, so which is a really good point, right? Yeah. Like a lot of people get stuck in an area, right? They're like, I'm here. This is where I'm sitting.
Right.
What determines if you get up and move? If you don't see deer, are you willing to move?
Yes. I'd say if I don't see anything by if I sit from, sunrise and it's gotten to be like noon, I'm probably going to move. But if I've seen sporadic movement throughout the morning, it doesn't even have to be a whole lot, but just something, I will stick for sure.
Yeah, you'll sit around. Dude, an all-day sin is brutal.
It's really hard.
It's, you know what's hard about it? Mentally, it's boring.
Yes. It's like, okay. And you know what you think? Like, okay, well, it's been about an hour. Let me check my clock. And it's been 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I was looking at it. I was like, man, I would be able to sit all day so much more. Mm-hmm. And not that I need to sit all day currently, but like the times when you want to sit all day, whether like an out-of-state hunt and you want to be in the woods. I was like, man, if I could just make a little mobile office in this tree, like people are mounting cameras, I'm going to mount a laptop.
Right.
Like, I could be efficient. I could get work done and I could sit in the woods all day.
I've got all kinds of like my book bag or my backpack that I bring my book bag, a backpack that I bring out there with me. I'm almost be embarrassed to talk about it, but I've got all kinds of little fidget spinners and like little puzzles, like a little,
just to occupy the time?
Just to occupy the time, yeah. I've got little latitude dump pouches and stuff like that I'll, put my stuff in.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, sitting all day, especially one day, cool, whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you're sitting back to back all day sits, that's tough. So what about whenever it comes to like sitting all day for you as far as like food or meals or anything? You just take little snacks with you?
Yeah, so it's not very healthy. I'll be honest. So like I'm pretty much between. It looks like a kid's backpack for school. You know what I mean? I've got little toys and trinkets and stuff, and then some little Debbies and
whatever it takes to get it done. Right.
That's it. Yeah.
So I mean, with those all day sits, are you sitting in a lock on?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Lock on is brutal. So you carry how many sticks?
I carry 4. I normally am only using 3.
Even there, with it not being quite as like so the vegetation still not being quite as thick as it is here, or it is as thick here where you're at?
Where I'm at, definitely.
It's really thick, so you don't have to get as high. You're in the canopy like right away.
Yeah, no, like, and there's some spots that I'm gonna carry all 4 in, but I am probably gonna try and stretch 2, maybe get to 11, 12 feet. Yeah, so that's just where I need to be, so.
Yeah, interesting. So does it give you any issues sitting all day in a lock on, like your back or anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I'm getting old.
Dude, sitting is the worst thing for you. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm really bad with this guy right here.
So am I.
My phone. And I don't know if you've experienced. Wait, you saddle hunt, don't you?
Yeah. No. I sit in a lock on.
Okay. So do you get the upper back pain?
I get it the middle of the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it right here, like at the top of the shoulders.
Yeah, I constantly have to shift.
That's
right. For all day stuff, especially. Mm-hmm. But so. Do you, so I have 2 different setups for my lock-ons, right? I got an XOP retrograde, which is the smaller version, which is great in and out, super low profile. But then I've got a Cold World, which is their bigger, which is comparable, I would say, probably to like the Lone Wolf 0.5 and 0.75. What hang-on do you use?
I have the 0.75.
That's what I would have gone with too.
Yeah.
It's a good system.
Yes. And you know what I want to do? I want to get those little, they make these foot pegs for them because, when I'm sitting there, I notice that like my tippy toes are like hanging over the front of the stand. If I could get some like little pegs to prop my feet up, I think that would make.
I probably would.
Yeah, I think not only would I be more comfortable, but that's pretty much the idea.
I mean, so and that's a big thing, right? If you can be more comfortable with what you're doing, the longer you can sit and deal with an environment, right?
Comfort is huge.
I think it is, and it's sometimes overlooked for people. And it'll get you out of the woods sooner. You're like, I just can't wait to go. To get out of here. But if you can get comfortable, you can sit all day, man.
Yeah, no, that's why I invest so much in my clothing too. Clothing is so important. You see guys at the check station, even on base in the cold weather months, like November, December comes around, you'll see guys at the check station at, like, I'm not even kidding, like 8 o'clock in the morning. And, no offense, they're just not wearing very high quality clothes. And they're like, yeah, I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm like, I don't blame you. You know what I mean? So,
dude, so if early season, it doesn't really matter. Like people are like camo and stuff. The camo doesn't make a difference. And I don't think it does in early season. Where it matters and whenever it gets cold is your layering system.
Yes.
And the higher the quality, the gear you invest in, the more low profile the actual clothing is. So you don't end up with this big, bulky Michelin Man
Yes.
outerwear when you're in the woods that's noisy. That's where the investment comes in quality stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one thing. If you're going to invest somewhere, it's good quality base layers and layering system and then footwear.
Yeah. I notice a lot of guys will tend to go straight to the outer stuff. Like, oh, I'm going to buy this big jacket and these big pants. It's like,
dude, a good base layer system makes
game changer.
Makes all the difference in the world. Yeah, I would agree, man. So in the woods, you're getting in there, you're planning on doing all day sets based off what's happening around you. You're willing to move. What about as far as like trekking in the morning in the dark, right? Are you a red light kind of guy? Use a white light? You go by no light?
You should see my headlamp. This thing is ridiculous. It is the biggest, brightest. It's stupid
looking. So you use a white light going in?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I think John Dudley, of all people, spoke about this on a podcast. It's probably been about 9 years ago now. But he was talking about the use of headlamps and flashlights going in. And his mentality was just use the best quality light you can getting in, and that prevents the noise factor. You know, if you can see better, you're going to make less noise. And I have to agree with him as far as this goes, and that is the light going to scare the deer more, or is the noise going to scare the deer more? And like you said, and we talked about earlier, walking in and out of the woods and seeing deer 10 feet from you.
This is true.
You drive down the road and you see deer, you know, you go all over the place and you see the deer in headlights. They don't seem to be too bothered by light, to me.
That's true.
In my experience. But what does bother deer, in my opinion, is crack, snap, crinkle, pop.
I just feel like I'm a raccoon wandering through there, and they're like, "Oh, there's that raccoon, man."
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I typically run a red light.
You do, okay.
And honestly, like on my way out of the woods, depending on where I'm at, how familiar I am with the particular area, I usually, if I can get away with no light, I run no light. But that does make sense, though, thinking about it, right? Because I've walked out like some areas, and I've turned on my white light just to see what's in the field.
Right.
And the deer are unbothered. They'll look right at me or look right at the light because I can see their eyes. And then I kill it, and then they're still there.
Kill what?
The light.
Oh, very well.
Not the animal. No, kill the light, and then they're still there.
Right.
So, yeah, I can see that. That does make sense. I mean, and that's a good approach, I think, too, if you can be more quiet. But, you know, if the white light doesn't bother them.
Yeah. And they may very well. I'm no deer expert as far as like their anatomy and things, but I will, and to say again, like the places that I'm hunting out there are just so, you know, you got to duck, dip, dive, and all this other stuff. So if I can see better to avoid a limb or something like that, would be my method for sure.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So let's talk about this deer you killed, right? So you killed a good deer a couple years ago, a year or two ago.
Yeah.
In Indiana. And the hunt didn't start off exactly like you had hoped, right?
No, it didn't.
So, which is great. This is a good story because, obviously bow hunting is very difficult and you want to do as many things right. And it doesn't always happen. But you probably should not quit on yourself just because things aren't going the way you think they should. So let's recap this scenario, for this deer you killed, a couple of years back. So how did it start? And it was on base.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's dive into the story on this thing.
So first, I was late getting to the woods.
Late.
Right?
So what time are we talking about late?
You can enter the woods. You can no. You can enter the woods there at 6 a.m. Right, so that gives you enough time to basically get to where you're going to go, get up the tree, and then that's when the light seems to be coming up. So that time of year, I think 6:30 is when you start to see that the sky starts to take illumination, I guess, but sunrise. But I was late. I was probably 45 minutes behind schedule. I kind of overslept a little bit. I kind of forget what else went wrong as far as like that affected my timeliness, but nonetheless, I was late. I get to the woods. The weather is definitely a factor. It's hot. So
what time of year was it?
This was early November, November the 8th.
Same time frame. So you're pretty consistent at the time you go up there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was living up there at the time.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And then I remember getting to my tree stand and I dropped one of my sticks. I don't know how that happened. It's like the way they were clicking onto my stand. I lost one on the way in. So I was only repping 2 sticks that day when I really needed a third stick. You know what I mean? So I stretched it out to 2. I get up to the top of the tree, get in my stand, I get all situated, and then my stand is not sitting on the tree as good as I'd like it to, so it's got a little bit of a shake to it. So I'm feeling uneasy about that. Then I realized that my seat, for whatever reason, kind of going through the thick stuff, I guess, the Velcro in the seat must have pulled it off. So now I'm just sitting on a piece of metal. Like everything's going wrong. And then to add insult to injury, when I start, getting all my gear situated, I realize my primary release is in my truck. So I'm using a backup release. Everything is going wrong.
That's like the most amateur story I've ever heard. That's awesome.
Well, I was like, I had gotten off work for like 60 days straight, so it's because I had a kid and I was on baby leave. So that's what I was doing, right?
Worked out perfectly.
Right.
Timed it.
So I'll blame that I was just maybe not feeling it, and we had a lot of south wind days in a row. It was hot. I was not enthusiastic. I didn't want to be there. And one of my good buddies, he basically convinced me to go. He's like, dude, you just need to change up your tactics, so to speak, But yeah, I forget what I was saying.
Dude, you lost everything.
Yeah,
sitting on a metal seat.
Yeah, so like I had a lot going against me, and then I got out the tree, got situated, realized even more of my conundrums, and then just throughout the morning, it was just like deer.
Consistent.
Yeah, and it was like I'd see one, and that deer would leave, and then 10, 15 minutes later, here comes another one. It'd be small buck, a doe and a fawn, a single doe, a spike. And it was just like they weren't like all together. It was entertaining because they just kept coming. And then that lasted from, I got up the tree probably like, I don't know, around 7-ish maybe, but 7:30-ish. That lasted from, I saw my first deer 10 minutes after I got up into the stand. And then that didn't stop until probably 10:30. And then it was just like dead. And I was just like, you know what? I was so tired. Obviously I had not been sleeping very much. I was just so tired. And I think the only reason why I stayed up in the tree is because I was too lazy to get down.
So let's backtrack. Where were you set up at? Were you set up near bedding? Was it near a food source? Was it travel corridor?
Very close to bedding.
Like right on top of it?
I'd say, if the deer are bedding, here I was maybe 150 yards.
So you were fairly close.
Yeah, from like the smack dab center of where I know the deer to be bedding. So very, very sneaky.
And where these deer are bedding, is this mainly is it a buck bedding area? Is it doe? I mean, is it a mix? Like
a total mix.
So you've seen all kinds of things down in that area.
And I'll say that all those deer that I saw that morning were coming right out of that bedding area. I didn't see them go back in, but I saw them all come out of that bedding area.
And is that bedding area, again, one of those super thick, like briar areas?
Yes. And it's one of those, like, you're not getting in it.
Yeah.
There's no way, especially in the summertime, no way. Definitely not. And even that time of year, I mean, there's just so many briars and stuff. I mean, you'll literally get hung up in there.
So you identified, based off that bedding area, you've identified where they're kind of moving in and out of through there, and then you set up based off of that.
Yes. And one of the reasons why I utilized that particular spot was, the bedding area is really thick, and then on the edge of the bedding area, there was a ton of honeysuckle, which I don't know if you're familiar with honeysuckle or ever hunted it or anything like that, but at the ground level, it is very, very thick, and deer will basically make these trails through these honeysuckles. Right now at ground level, you can't. I couldn't see from me to you, but if you were elevated, it's just you see it. It's like a spider web.
Okay. So where are they moving to? Like you're in between the bedding, and is it a food source?
No. So there is some ag over on that side of it's off base. I don't know if that's where they're going. It's the direction that they were headed.
Right.
But I will say that I set that hunt plan up knowing that it's possible if they were to switch bedding areas, they were going to go to the bedding area to the north or whatever the case was. There was a wind switch that day. So I knew that if they were going to go there, they're probably going to use that honeysuckle between these two bedding areas. And I basically planted myself right on the edge of that honeysuckle and right at the edge of that bedding area, and basically just watched these deer all morning come out of there.
So where was the wind blowing? I mean,
from the south.
From the south.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you didn't have nothing was blowing over any of the bedding area. Mm-hmm. So this deer that came out, was the wind partially in his favor though?
Not at all. It was completely at his back, which I thought was a little odd, but they'll do weird things that time of year.
Yeah, interesting. So was he on a mission whenever he came out?
Not really. He was very slow moving.
Like you, dude. He had the same morning.
I know. Yeah. He was just like, you know what I mean? So he just kind of was just taking like little steps at a time. I mean, he wasn't stopping or anything like that, but he was just walking like normal Sunday in the park. You know?
So what time did he come out, or did he show himself?
Noon.
At noon, midday.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I shot him at 12:01.
Wow. So how long did you see him? Like, did you? Not
long at all, because it's so thick. And I literally was just like sitting there in my stand, and I was like, this blows. Right. So, and I remember just thinking that to myself, and I remember just like looking at the ground and looking up. And like I said, I was not that high. And I remember looking up, and he is like coming right to me.
So he's walking at you.
He's walking straight at me.
And you're super low.
Super low. Head's kind of like, he's not alert. He's not doing any of this. He's just kind of, well, here I go. You know, and that's pretty much it. It's almost like he knew it was coming. You know, it was like delaying the inevitable, so to speak, you know.
Wow. So he was walking straight at you.
Yeah. He came, he ended up walking maybe 12 yards to the left of my tree.
So the perfect.
Perfect.
Like, you couldn't have made anything any better. There's nothing that you would have changed.
No. I would have still sat in a metal seat that day.
Yeah.
You know, to make it all work out the way it did, for sure.
Man, so he just came out. He was just casually strolling and not on alert. Mm-mm. So, I mean, it made it quick work of him.
Yeah, 100%.
And he came out midday. The wind was at his back.
Wind was at his back.
In your favor, not in his whatsoever. So he must have just been comfortable in that area. That bedding area must have been, I'm assuming, unbothered by anybody.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, like, getting to that bedding area is really tricky. Well, it's a long walk, so the walk is actually pretty smooth, but it's just the distance, you know, is pretty. That's another mind thing for sure.
Yeah. So as far as that tree goes, had you already picked that tree out prior?
Yeah. So I'd hunted that tree, I think the year before, maybe 1 or 2 times, and I saw a lot of deer there for sure. But it's just, I think my summertime experience in there really kind of honed that tree. Is like, okay, if that's a south wind, you really need to be here, because it's not going to blow into that bedding area. And yeah.
So even coming in, you didn't have to worry about any issues with the wind blowing over into the bedding area with the way you accessed it. Mm-hmm. What about your ground scent coming in? Did he have to walk over your ground scent at all, or your trail coming in?
No, because I came in from, let's see here, I came in here from the west. So I came in from the west. The wind's blowing to the south like this. I came in this way. It's kind of hard to. I wish I could draw it on like a whiteboard or something like that, right? Yeah, I look like John Madden, you know, like playing football, you know. But yeah, but it 100% worked in my favor. So,
I mean, dude, you can't argue with that.
No, I was really fortunate.
So with that too, do you use typically use any kind of cover scent or anything like that going into the woods, like as far as like ground scent, or do you put any cover scent up during a specific time of the year, like during the rut? Do you hang anything?
Nope, not at all.
So what about as far as scent control goes, in your opinion?
I don't use anything.
You don't use anything?
No, and I don't knock anybody that does. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Again, I'm no scientist when it comes to deer, but I mean they're a brilliant animal, and they have an uncanny ability to smell far beyond our comprehension. So I just find it really difficult that we can spray on something that is going to fool them. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I don't think you can. You're never going to beat a deer's nose. Obviously, you're not going to do everything you can to go out of your way to, smell bad while you're out there, whether it's gasoline or something unnatural.
Right. Yeah. No, I won't. I would definitely take care of that. You know what I mean? I'll try and get dressed out there. I try to wear my clothes in like a gas station or whatever the case is.
Do you shower before every hunt?
Yeah, I will.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you use anything in the shower, just like a scent-free soap?
I do use that. What is it? Hunter Specialties. They have that green, green soap. I think everyone's granddad had that back in the day. And I think I use that specific soap just because it brings back some, and it's cheap. I think it's like $4 for that thing. But so I'll use that. But I don't go out of my way to spray anything on myself as far as like a scent product or anything.
Yeah, I hear people on both sides of the aisle, not so much that they're going to beat the deer's nose, but maybe something that doesn't put them on alert quite as much, to kind of keep them at ease. And I hear guys on both sides of the aisle who are both all good hunters. Yeah. And everyone's kind of got a different approach on it. And I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are on it. I mean, because you've killed a lot of good animals as well.
I'll tell you that up there, what I will do is if I happen to walk by a cedar, I'll break one of the limbs off and like kind of like rub that on my hands and stuff like that. But I was talking to somebody, it might have been at the ATA show, but they were mentioned, it was somebody that worked for one of the scent companies, right? And I appreciated his honesty, but he said, where do you think most of human odor comes from? And I was like, there's, only 1 or 3 places, where it's like the worst, And he goes, well, it'd surprise you. It's your mouth. That's where, most of the scent is coming from that a deer is gonna smell. I was like, oh my gosh, really? And he's like, yeah.
Some people are gonna have it bad.
Yeah.
This ought to increase trips to the dentist. This podcast.
Yeah.
No, that's funny. That's interesting. I can see that though, because it's always moist.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's bacteria and whatnot, and drinking coffee, slamming Monster Energy drinks.
Yeah. Big old hog full of Copenhagen. You know what I mean? That's my thing. You know what I
mean? Natural as can be.
Yeah.
So this deer's coming at you. It's headed straight for you. It's about 12 yards off to your weak side. Because you were so low, you were only, 10, 11 feet off the ground?
About that, yeah.
So did you have any issues drawing your bow back? Were you concealed in the tree pretty well?
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I was actually in like, I forget which kind of tree it was, but there was tons of foliage in the tree, and I just happened to be able to put my stand in a spot on the tree where I'd be kind of like in like a cave, I guess, for lack of a better term, but I was very, very, very concealed and had tons of shooting lane opportunity. But what I did do is I knew that I did not want to let that deer get here and not be at full draw yet. So when he was like way up here still, I drew in anticipation that he was going to walk where I thought he would. And because he seemed like he was on a straight line, so I could pretty much predict where he was going to go. So I drew I was probably at full draw for maybe 35, 40 seconds before he got there. And then as soon as he got to where I wanted him to go, I gave him a little eat. That's all I gave him. You know what I mean? He stopped for a split second, squoze that arrow off, and he went maybe 25 yards, stood there for a second. And I got that on video, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I'll pull it up for you if you want me to.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. So, what kind of broadhead did you shoot him with?
Iron Will.
Oh, did you? Yeah. That's right. That's typically what you run. And is it the Iron Will that has the bleeders on them or no?
Yes.
Okay, so I've heard really good things about those. The flight characteristics of those broadheads are phenomenal too.
Great. Yeah.
It's one of the better, I think, fixed blade broadheads.
Yeah, and they know it too.
Yeah. Oh, they do.
They're proud of it. Yeah,
they are, man. So interesting enough, I just shot a couple does this weekend, and I shot a Sever 1.5 hybrid, and I shot one of them on the ground this weekend, right? I shot one from a stand, but I got down, and then I had another one come through. I kind of moved around on her and got a shot on her. But the shot was, the deer was kind of quarter to me, and I put the shot right behind the shoulder. It came out the opposite rear ham all the way through. An Easton 5.0. It was only like 418 grains with that on there. No issues with the arrow. Full pass through. That deer went 10 yards.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It was amazing.
I love it when that happens.
Oh, dude, it's like one of the better. I had a good one last year in Kentucky too, where it was like that, where you just get that shot. There's no tracking required.
Yeah. I tell you what, like I think, let's see here. Well, definitely with him, I watched him fall, and that was like, it was kind of interesting because he went, like I said, like 25 yards, and he just stood there, and it was. I probably would have put another arrow in him if I would have had a shot opportunity, but he was up in the honeysuckle. I just sat down and just watched him, and he stood there for about 15, 20 seconds, and he just down he went. Yeah. No kicking or anything like that.
Blood pressure just drops. And
yeah,
that's wild, man. So clean shot.
Oh yeah. Did
you hit him through the heart?
I got a picture of that too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Right. I mean, smack dab through the heart on that deer.
Interesting, man. So I've shot deer through the heart before, and they've still run like 40 to 50 yards.
Yeah. That's deer's heart right there.
That doesn't get any better. That's like a perfect shot.
Yeah.
There's no better than that. Was there a bunch of blood?
Yeah. I got video of the blood trails too.
A bunch of blood, huh? Yeah, I'm terrible about taking pictures or videos of anything.
Yeah.
Do you record most of your hunts?
Yeah, so especially now, I've got one of those painted arrow. Let me see, it does on my phone, the little magnet. You know what I mean?
You put the one that's on the tree.
Yeah, so I've got like the swivel. I've got the I forget.
Do we sell them? Does Extreme have them?
I don't. You definitely sell the ones that mount on the stabilizers.
Yeah,
I know you had that one, and then but I've got the painted arrow swivel head.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't know that. I probably should.
Yeah, but that's a great company, you know, and I love their stuff. So
yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I never record anything. I'm the worst.
Yeah.
By the time, honestly, when I'm in the woods, the last thing I want to deal with is another camera.
Yeah,
or anything like that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's for me, it's just the opportunity thing. You know what I mean? Like if I know a deer's coming, if one surprises me, I'm not gonna dilly dally with like, oh, get this set up and make sure we hit the record. No, I'm there to kill a deer. You know, so.
So interesting. So there's a lot of takeaways from that, right? Because the day didn't start off like you had anticipated it. And I think that happens to people. I mean, but was there some major takeaways from that hunt that you've kind of taken in and you can kind of reflect on?
Yeah, just stay motivated. Oh, and don't put too much weight into the weather. You know, I mean,
interesting.
I grew up with the old men saying, the colder the better, you know. And I tell you what, there's been many days that I hunted Kansas, you know, 20 degrees out, 18, 20 degrees. And I'll never forget this. One of the coldest days that I ever hunted in Kansas, it was in the teens. And, you know, my mentality was, well, it's going to be real cold. They're going to be moving. And I get up into the stand and I remember I didn't see anything all morning, but around like 10 o'clock, I pull up the binos and I could see these does. There's probably about 10 or 12 of them all bedded against this hedgerow up against this cut cornfield. And I watched them, and I watched them, and I watched them. They didn't move all day long. Really? They just sat there all day, just chilling.
Hunkered down.
Yeah.
What time of year was that? Late season?
That was November.
Okay. So
but we had gotten uncommon amount of snow that for whatever reason, we got like 4 or 5 inches of snow, and this was early November.
So was that a substantially different weather than typical?
Yes.
So I wonder if that has something to do with it. Like if there's a massive weather shift, that's something they're not used to.
Probably. I mean, that might have something to do with it for sure. But I say that don't pay attention to the weather thing too much because I definitely have seen a lot of deer on cold days too.
Right.
You know, but I've also heard tons of people saying, oh, I'm just not motivated. It's warm. I've killed a lot of big bucks in warm weather, dude, you know?
I would say I see most people, they want to avoid the woods whenever it's a little bit warmer, but man, there's guys that we see every day that kill good deer when the weather is not what you would expect it to be for deer.
Right. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's just like something that humans over time, or hunters rather, over time have just been told, oh, hunting is not good when it's hot or when it's warmer than it normally is.
It's definitely a bummer.
I would prefer a little cooler temps, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely not gonna let it ruin my entire trip if, you know, we have a couple days in the 70s.
Right. Yeah. I mean, especially for an out of state hunt, man, you got to make the most of whatever you're given. So
That's
if
right.
it's raining out there, you better put your rain gear on
That's
and
it.
go out and get after it. Because you're only there for a couple days. It's not like you're at the house and go out back.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. You're there for one reason. You're going to spend the money and the travel time and the time off.
Yes.
You better put your time in.
Yeah. And I think that's what kind of feeds into my all day, like the motivation to do it. Cause I'm like, okay, you either get it done now and do this all day set, or you get to go back to North Carolina and chase deer a third of this size. You know what I mean? So you're not shooting no 180 on Camel June. You know what I mean?
No, probably not.
Right.
If you do, I mean, everyone's going to hear about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, man. So that's cool, man. So you're going back this year, same time frame. Is your game plan altered at all over the years, or is it the similar? Like, hey, obviously you know a bunch of areas that you've pre-scouted. You've got prior intel on. You don't have any cameras or anything. You're not hunting over bait. I mean, what's the idea? You're just still going to sit around all those primary bedding areas and.
Yes, I will say that I might spend a little bit of time, maybe finding some new areas. Because I do feel like the deer are smarter than we give them credit for, and I feel like if you do the same thing every year, year after year, that you're eventually gonna just completely educate the deer in the area to the point where they know which tree you're gonna be in. So maybe I'll spend a little time looking for new areas, but I will tell you that I am very eager, especially for some of my spots that are hard to reach. Maybe figure out a few different avenues to be a little bit more efficient getting to those spots. Maybe if I come from another direction, or maybe I use a different avenue, whatever the case is. Maybe I can make less noise, or I don't know. So I think efficiency is one thing that I try and maybe improve this year.
Has your gear strategy changed at all?
No, not really. I still run the same like lock on and everything like that. I've upgraded over the years and stuff like that, but I still do the, couple sticks and a lock on up the tree.
So what do you use? So I take a hybrid approach kind of, so I still wear a saddle in, but I sit in a lock on. So I kind of use my tether myself to the tree. Like, what are you using as far as a harness goes?
One of those Summit harnesses. The
H harness?
I don't know.
Does it go over your shoulders?
Yeah.
And through your legs?
Yeah.
And it's like a dang, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's got the little, the lineman's belt loops right here.
That's what you run.
Yeah.
Do you use a bino harness?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the buckles and stuff go right around it perfectly.
So whenever you tether to the tree, is the tether behind you?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, when I'm hooked up, it's all behind me the entire time.
Got it.
Although I have explored the idea of doing something similar to you. Cause I don't know, that seems maybe a little bit more efficient than what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just like the idea of sitting.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like when I sit, I'm more still. And I blend in a little bit better. But sometimes I'm like, I'll find myself I'll stand. My cousin, like he's hunted a lot. He stands the entire time. He'll stand all day.
Yeah.
Up against a tree.
Does Brian stand all day too, or no? He's a saddle guy. That's
Most
right.
of the other guys we know are saddle hunters.
Yeah. I know guys like one of my best friends in the whole world down in Florida. He stands the entire time, and I'm like, "Are you crazy? Sit down."
No, dude, that's my cousin, man. He'll stand the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm just locked in, man. Just
locked in.
Yeah, like, he kills good deer too.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. But I felt like I love the idea of being able to sit still, have that perfect shot opportunity present itself, and shoot him sitting down. And like my movement is so minimal. I love that.
You see, I'm not that cool. I have to stand up.
Oh,
so for me, it's like a process. It's like, oh my gosh, here they come. I'm like, I gotta stand up.
But like ideally, like whenever I've killed some good deer, like sitting down is like perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. But I notice what happens to me more times than not is I'm in this stand sitting down and I'm like, I gotta stand up.
Yep.
I'm slowly, and then I've got to spin all the way around because they come out on the wrong side.
Yep.
Which I prepared for this. They're not going to come out on this side. There's no way. It's too thick. They ain't coming from there. Lo and behold,
here they come.
There they go. Mm-hmm. And I'm over there like tippy-toeing around on the stand trying to get in a position to take a shot.
Yeah. And that 0.75 platform is not huge, and I'm a big man, you know what I'm saying?
Just so monster,
so like getting up and like trying to make a shot on them without falling out of the tree stand, you know what I mean? So
dude, do you ever have any issues as far as like hanging your stand? This was me the other day. I go get on my stand and the top bracket is not fully seated against the tree.
Yes.
And
it's scary, ain't it? It is scary. You get the wobbles up there a little bit.
And then I'm like, oh man, I think it's good. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But then I'm second guessing myself. So I'm standing back up and rehanging this stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen too many people fall out of stands.
I know.
My wife just sent me something yesterday.
Is it? Which one was it?
Dude, I don't know why the dude's even recording because he's out of frame.
I know which one you're talking about.
It's a video of, and you just hear the dude drops his pack.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
And
then he goes, and he's like,
yeah. He did not hit it soft either.
Dude, he fell like face down.
Yeah.
I mean, they said he's okay, so we're laughing now. So
right.
If he ever sees this, sorry, man, that was a bummer, dude. But that dude, he fell. So, and you just see him kind of bounce.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Can you imagine how horrifying that half a second is from the stand to the ground?
Dude, no.
Yeah.
And the fall is so fast, it's not like you can orientate yourself in a way to absorb the fall.
No.
You fall how you fall.
Mm-hmm. And I don't care how good it is, but Sitka doesn't make any like fall-proof clothes. Right. You know what I mean?
I can't imagine falling like that now. Like as a kid, I could like more so understand it, but like now, dude, that's a hard impact.
These bones are brittle, you know?
Dude. So I'm all about like, I understand everything comes with risk, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and everybody's willing to take more risk than others. Like everybody's different, right? And they're more confident in certain areas. But I'm pretty big on taking like calculated risk, like as much as I can, and minimizing my demise.
Yeah. Yeah. I love doing it, but I don't want to die doing it.
I don't want to die doing it, man. No. So I do like, I disconnect from the tree. We've talked about this before, to reconnect to the tree. That's like my biggest. But besides that, man, I'm pretty consistently hooked in.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing that you do. I'm disconnected for a split second, but I'll tell you what, when I'm not locked in, I'm locked in. You know, like, okay, there's nothing saving you. So you pay attention to what you're doing right now. That's right.
That's right. So what about your bow? Whenever do you have a bow hanger that hangs out in front of you?
Yeah, so I've got one of those extendy arm thingies. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty efficient. I like it. I like to just minimize movement, man. I like to set myself up so everything is as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
And I minimize that movement, but half the time it doesn't work out that way because I'm like, all right, here we go. And it's time for me to make something happen, and I've got to spin all the way around on this thing. And
well, I tell you, I had bought one of those, I've got this strap that goes around the tree for my camera mount.
Yeah.
And I've got one of those, I won't say the name, but there's a bow hook that is on that strap.
Yeah.
And I bought one of those earlier this year, and I was like, man, this is going to make me so much more efficient, you know? And I just don't like where the bow hangs, like on the tree right here. Like I would rather have that extended arm so that way I can orientate the bow to not much arm movement is going to grab
it's right there in front of you. So, but one thing you do have to be conscious of, we've had guys do it before. They don't hang their hanger high enough. They go at full draw and they shoot their bow and their cam hits that hanger and derails the bow.
Yeah. So, no, I always, whenever I get to my stand, I always like, as far as the arm can reach, we're getting up in there. You know what I mean?
That's how I do, in case I got to stand up and take a shot too.
Right.
Yeah, it's not in the way. Nope. So same strategy moving into this year. You've already got some key areas picked out. You're going to head up there at the beginning of November. You can be there for roughly 11 days. What did that deer that you shot, how big was that deer?
He got in the 150s, you know.
Yeah, good deer. You know how much it weighed?
Oh, let's see. So I wish I had a full body weight on him, you know, but then he came in at like right at about 200. That was like after the guts and everything were pulled out of him and stuff.
It's a good deer.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, his weight was really something trying to drag him out there.
That's what I was getting into next. How'd you get him out?
Yeah. So I was able, so it is a requirement aboard that military base that you have to gut the deer there in the woods. And then, so they just want obviously a field dressed deer back at the check station. So, had that not been a rule, I probably would have attempted to drag the full deer back. I had a cart and everything, but the cart was like on the main trail, you know, so it still would have been pretty rough. But
so you're just dragging them by the antlers, and
you
don't have any like a tarp or anything you put down, wrap them up, try to drag them? You don't have a drag or anything?
I never even thought about that. Putting the deer on a tarp?
Yeah.
Does that help?
I don't know. I don't do it. I'm not.
Yeah.
I just know of other people who have.
Well, I'll tell you what. This just goes to show how likable of a guy I am. My first phone call was one of my buddies that was hunting nearby, and I was like, dude, you know I love you. And he's like, I love you too. I'm like, well, I'm glad because I really need your help. You know, like come up with this deer, you know, and he came and helped me drag that deer out, but it was still like it was hot that day too.
Dude, dragging a deer out of the woods, especially when there's any kind of terrain. Like if you're going to drag it, like I'm almost at the point now, and I told my wife this after I shot those deer the other day. I said, I'm just going to quarter this thing up and pack it out.
Yeah.
Like I'm done dragging these things. It's so thick.
I know, right?
Dude, like getting these deer out from here is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like the thickest stuff ever. And then you get turned around trying to come back out because it's not like I'm following my tracking.
Does your Onyx ever get messed up?
Always.
Like with your direction, you go the wrong way?
Yeah, all the time. So I have to like pre-orientate myself.
Right.
My compass was off on it the other day.
Yeah. The same thing happened to me, and I went the wrong way.
Dude.
I was like, I don't remember seeing this. You know what I mean? And I'm like, next thing you know, I've got helicopters flying looking for me. You know what I mean?
You're in a live fire area on base.
Right.
Oh, dude. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. Excited for you? What's like the one piece of gear that's like you can't live without? Is there anything that you carry?
That would take some thinking, I think. But probably the bow hook, honestly. Especially when you're mobile hunting. Like if you're in a climber or something, you just lay the bow across, you know, the stand. But if you're in that lock on, that is like not something that you want to hold on to the entire hunt. So that bow hook, and I've done that before. I've gotten up to the top of the tree and I'm like scavenging through my backpack looking for this bow hook, and it's not there. And I have to sit there like lean the bow on my foot, the entire time. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, so I'm notorious for leaving mine in the tree after I get down.
And you just come back and hunt that later. So you
just buy another one.
Oh, you leave the hook.
Unintentionally.
Oh, I thought you meant like you leave the bow up there and you come back later and leave the bow up there.
No, I accidentally leave the hook screwed into the tree, and I'm already down, and I'm like, we've gone too far.
No kidding.
I'm not going back for this.
Yeah, actually it's funny. There's a public land area down in Florida. When I was a kid, I screwed one of those Ameristep step thingies into a tree, and if I'm ever home, if me and my dad ever hunt in this area, like I'll go by that tree, and be like, hey Dad, look up. And it's still there. Just a rusty old stick sitting out of the tree, Yep. Yeah. I've got some all over the woods. Good thing they're not very expensive.
Oh, I know. So do you have a goal in mind for this next year in Indiana? Is there like, whenever you go, you're like, hey, I'm not shooting anything smaller than this? Or if you're one of those guys, if it's a good deer, I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Mature buck,
What do you define as mature? Over 3.5?
Over 4. Over 4. Yeah. My big goal this year, I got to give him a plug. My brother-in-law has been hunting Indiana with me. He hunted the last 2 years. And he had a pretty good opportunity last year, but the year before that, he had a really good opportunity, and I kind of screwed it up for him. But nonetheless, like, that dude has put in so much work, not just at home. He's an excellent dad. He was a Marine vet. That's how I met my wife, Anyway, long story short, yeah, he's a great guy, works really hard, just great American guy. And here he is. He's going back up with me again. He's going for it. So my big goal this year is ensuring that he gets one.
Nice. So it's just the two of you guys going?
Just the two of us.
So where are you guys staying at?
The little hotel on base.
Oh, are you?
On base, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We were going to do the Airbnb thing. And I was like, that's really expensive. Then the off-base hotel thing, that was also expensive. So I was like, you know what, dude, we can get cheap housing on base, so let's just do that. It's close.
That makes sense. Are you going to hunt that same area where you killed this past deer?
Yes.
Are you?
Yeah.
So that's a good area.
Yeah. When I was living up there, when I had trail cameras in the woods, every year I'd have trail cameras outside of that bedding area, and there was multiple bucks that would frequent that area during the rut. I think predominantly because there's a lot of does that bed in there.
That makes sense.
And I think bucks from other areas were like, oh, I know that area, holds a lot of does, and they just kind of work. And then they'll start bedding there too for, a couple weeks or whatever the case is.
So it's the place to be.
Yeah.
Dude, hopefully it's open for you.
I hope so too. Joe was actually talking about going up there.
Joe.
Ski.
Yeah, dude, he's been hunting hard, man.
I know. That's another one. He works real hard.
He does, man. He's a 365 bow hunter.
Yeah.
Dude, year round.
Take a break, man.
Dude, he doesn't, man. He's constantly on the ground from, setting up areas. He's big on creating habitat for deer.
Yeah.
So, and he's a wealth of knowledge for it. Just he sees a ton of activity. He's able to key in on things, and he's always successful.
Yeah.
On good animals. So, yeah. So by the time this podcast drops, the new bows from PSC are going to be out. 2026 bows.
Yeah.
So pretty exciting stuff too, man. You'll have to do some shooting on some of them. Check them out.
I know. I don't know how they're going to improve from what they already did.
They have dramatically.
Really?
So, yeah. So the new bows are already out since this podcast. So they got a new cam, the new FDS cam, 10 foot a second faster. It's smoother than the EC2 cam.
Whoa.
More efficient. And then they've got the new bow called the Sicario. And it is a 33-inch axle-to-axle bow with the new FDS cam. It's their speed bow. JR shot it at 30 inches with a 445 grain arrow, 321.
Whoa! Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to shooting that bow, and I got to give those guys a plug too. They came in the shop. What was their names again? I'm sorry.
So Tom, the CEO, was here. Brent was here, the CMO, and then Cooper, part of customer service.
Yeah,
all phenomenal dudes.
What a great group. When they came in here, and like I said, I got to shoot some of their bows and stuff, and then there was some people that I knew that I was like, hey, they were getting into bow hunting, and I was like, today is the day you need to go shoot, and they didn't know anything, and I wasn't even here, but they told me when they left that everybody, the staff at the shop, you guys were excellent to them, but they said the guys from PSC were just extraordinary dudes. If I go back, I wish I would have taken them out to Hooters or something.
Hooters is closed.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Jacksonville,
North Carolina, Hooters is closed. That's
right.
Unbelievable,
right.
Honestly. Like, there's one restaurant that you would think would stand the test of time in this area.
Yeah.
It's that one.
Right.
What has happened?
I don't know. Probably bad management, It's gotta be.
Something. Yeah, man. But the new bows, they are phenomenal. And anybody who hasn't had a chance to shoot them, you're definitely going to want to go shoot them. I can assure you they're, like you said, how do you improve on something that's already fantastic? Been the bow of the year for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Sounds like they're going for round 3.
Bro, there's no way that they're not, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just with the new technology, and the new cam system is incredible. I mean, they've changed their let-off options. So it used to be 80 to 90%. Now it's 70, 75, 80, or 85%.
Whoa.
So you can change your let-off options. The back wall's incredible on these. They've recessed the post, which is kind of interesting, where the cable attaches to the cam, and they've increased the size of the bearings. So literally it's impossible to torque these bows. There's no hand torque that's induced in these bows. So the shootability of the platform is just, it's crazy, man. You're going to have to shoot them and check them out.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do it. But that's it, Mr. Kevin. What else you got? Anything new? Any words of encouragement? Anything exciting else? What else is happening here in Jacksonville? You been hunting here?
Yeah, quite a bit. It's been kind of dead a little bit. I saw a big buck on opening day, and typical hunting on a military base. A lot of the areas that I wanted to hunt are not opening as
exactly.
that I had hoped, but we still got a good bit of season left. So in these last couple, like today, I don't know if you walked outside this morning, felt very deery outside.
It did, and unfortunately my schedule is pretty packed right now.
Yeah, so I ran my combat fitness test this morning.
Sick.
Add insult to injury. You don't get to hunt, you get to go do that instead.
Sounds like fun. So that's it. Well, good luck in Indiana, man, and the rest of the season. And, hopefully it goes well. I'm sure it will. Hopefully, you said it's your brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Hopefully he hammers something.
He will.
Yeah, good. Good deal, man. Well, that is it, everybody. Kevin, thanks for joining me. Like I said, you're a wealth of knowledge, man. A lot of experience. Killed some really good animals. And I'm sure you're going to come through with another solid season this year, and then we have to get you shooting some PSC bows.
That's it. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Good deal, man. Well, as always, appreciate you guys listening. That's another episode of The American Bow Hunter. Drop some comments, give us some feedback. Let us know your experience in Indiana. Anybody out there hunting that state? What does it look like for you? How's your success rate? And what kind of tips do you got for anybody that's heading out there? Obviously, don't drop all your secrets.
Yeah.
But, give somebody a bone. Help somebody out. So that's it, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys in the next episode of The American Bow Hunter.